The Trumpites are now calling for civil war if you don't give them what they want in November. Yeah. So, a Republican politician in Ohio is now calling for civil war in the event that they lose. So they're already mentally preparing their supporters to not accept the results of elections in the event that things don't go their way. Where have we seen this before? Monkey see, monkey do with these little rats. Anything Trump does, no matter how immoral, unconstitutional, and democracy damaging, they'll just follow him off the ends of the earth. Grown adults! Watch this foolishness.
Fight! Fight! We got time. Come on. Hey, we are in the fight for the soul of our nation. We are in a fight for our kids and our grandkids, a fight that we can...
Hold on. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. I'm tired of Trumpers acting like you're protecting the future of our children. You are not. You are actively destroying the separations of power in government. You are handing as much power to the president as humanly possible. You are threatening to wipe the entire executive branch of bureaucrats, apolitical actors, and replacing it with only Trump loyalists. And you think you are creating a better America for the next generation? Donald Trump for the last 8 years has shown you time and time again he is not president material, and all of you ignored it in favor of your own personal gain. And you have the audacity to talk about this being a fight for the soul of our nation? Donald Trump called for the suspension of the Constitution because of election fraud that he knew didn't exist for 2 months before January 6th. Donald Trump is the first president that I know of who called for the suspension of the Constitution because an election didn't go his way. You think you have the right to talk about fighting for the soul of our country when you're backing a man who would advocate for basically the suspension of the Constitution, the literal suspension of the Constitution? And I don't know, I guess that when you suspend the Constitution, Trump's gonna one day bring it back. Surely Donald Trump wouldn't keep it suspended after maintaining power in the office of the presidency. Surely he would never do that. Surely a leader who calls for the suspension of the Constitution, the very thing he took an oath to uphold, protect, and defend, surely he would not take advantage of the suspension of such a document after calling for said suspension. And you think you have the moral high ground to talk about protecting the soul of our nation, sitting there chanting fight, fight, fight? Number one, you're fat. I don't even know how you could possibly even chant fight like that. Number two, you're all following a man who cares very little, is the nice way of putting it. Gives zero for our Constitution and our rule of law. And you think you know what the soul of America is? What, because you're white and Christian, you know what the soul of America is? I'm done pretending with you people. I'm done. I don't give a what your race is and what your religion is. Just because you're a white Christian does not mean you understand America.
Imagine. I believe wholeheartedly Donald Trump and Butler County's J.D. Vance are the last chance to save our country politically. I'm afraid if we lose this one, it's going to take a civil war to save the country, and it will be saved. It's the greatest experiment in the history of mankind. And if we come down to a civil war, I'm glad we got people like Schmitty and the Bikers for Trump on our side.
So now they're threatening gang violence if you don't give them what they want. What are y'all, black now? Okay, that was crazy. Yo, now y'all are gang members. Now you're gonna, I don't know, ride your bikes into the fucking into the Capitol. What are you, the Undertaker? Rolling. Y'all are children. Y'all are absolutely children. Because you don't get the outcome you want, now all of a sudden you're going to kill everyone. You're going to start a civil war. You know, like when you see a certain crime in the news, you know the ethnicity of the people behind it? The usual suspects is what the white nationalists usually say. Whenever the United States is at risk of imploding from the inside, it's always the usual suspects. Far-right, ultra-Christian conservatives. Every time, the Civil War, this Trump shit, why can't y'all just simply accept common sense? No, if you lose, it does not mean you get to kill everyone. It does not mean you get to blow people up and shoot everyone. I don't know why this needs to be explained to you guys. And what's even more sick and twisted to me is the fact that you guys act as though you have some sort of precedent on which to be violent. The only violent ones are you. You're the only ones who try to violently obstruct an official proceeding meant to certify the results of an election. You did that on behalf of Donald Trump. Donald Trump, who, by the way, had the power, the man had the power to pardon those January 6th minions. Instead, he chose to pardon his goons, like Bannon and Flynn and the rest of them. The man even pardoned Lil Wayne and Kodak Black instead of his January 6th minions. He pardoned a bunch of random people that had nothing to do with his entire presidency. That's the guy you guys are going to throw your weight behind, and you have the audacity to threaten the other half of the country with death if they don't give you what you want? Why are you guys acting like Trump won the popular vote in 2016? Newsflash, he didn't. Trump didn't win that. Trump did not win the popular vote in 2020. Trump did, bro, y'all lost the midterms. Why are we still pretending like you guys are just winners? Why are we pretending like you guys never lose? The American people never choose anyone else. It's only ever you. And if it's not you, there must be something wrong in the system. It's privilege. It's the utmost. It's not even white privilege. It's conservative Christian privilege. This idea that somehow or another, you just should get whatever you want, anytime, any place, anywhere. And if you don't get it, you just get to fucking take it from someone else. What is wrong with y'all? What is wrong with y'all? And the one person who brought this out of y'all is Trump. He brings out the worst in everyone. I swear to God. And you have the audacity to threaten to kill the other side of the country with biker gangs. What are you talking about? So if the other side outvotes you, you're going to kill everyone? Need I remind you, Trumpers, you do know you're the only ones advocating for things that would strip people of their rights. The only sensible thing you guys are actually running on is a tight border. That's it. Everything else is about stripping gay people of their rights, women of their rights to abortion, non-religious people of their right to not be fucking flooded with Christianity in schools. The only thing you guys have to offer is a closed up border. You're planning on cutting Social Security, welfare. You guys are planning on destroying the Department of Education because some things are in it that you don't like. You guys are planning the total destruction of our system. You're planning to centralize as much power in the executive branch as humanly possible. The entire Supreme Court, well, 6 of them are compromised. Your entire movement, if one could even call it that, is eroding away at everything that makes this nation great. You people have no comprehension of the laws the Founding Fathers put in place. All you think about is white, Christian. That's all you think about is whiteness and Christianity. And that's fine. I don't have a problem with whiteness or Christianity. But when that's the only thing you care about, and that's the only American thing you understand, you shouldn't be you shouldn't be this arrogant, and you shouldn't be threatening people with death if they don't vote for you. You don't care about the separation of powers in our government. You don't care about the president cleansing the entire executive branch of non-political bureaucrats and replacing them with political actors loyal to only Trump. You literally don't care about anything. You don't care about any of that. All you care about is forcing your beliefs and values on the entire country, regardless of how many American laws you have to violate to get there. You don't care. And yet you think you have the right to threaten the entire country with civil war if you don't win an election. Just win the next one. Try to be more inclusive to minorities. I know you're not going to do that. Try to be more inclusive to women. You can't do that. Try not to, threaten the entire country with shoving religion down their throats. You can't do that. You could just stop being assholes and maybe see what happens. I don't know, get rid of the insurrectionist traitor from your presidential nomination. Demand actual professionalism and honor from your Supreme Court justices. These things would require you to actually honor and respect American laws and values, something none of you are capable of doing because I guess whiteness and Christianity is all you need to be a real American. I guess so. Donald Trump is a man who called for the suspension of the United States Constitution because of election fraud that he knew didn't exist. You all are backing a man who called for the suspension of the United States Constitution. In any other era in American history, this man would not be able to successfully run for president, much less possibly maybe even win. All of you have surrendered your values. For those of you who joined the military or served in office, you have rejected your oath. All of you are joining behind the movement of a traitor to the United States, and you know it. You absolutely know it. And for you to threaten violence against half of the country is insane. You guys did not win the popular vote in 2016 or in 2020. You got your ass whooped in the midterms. Why are you acting like if you don't win, it doesn't make sense? Why? Why are you guys acting like you always win no matter what? That's not true. You don't. Stop. It's crazy how Republican voters really think they don't win because it's always rigged. Have you thought that maybe the country doesn't like some of your ideas? Why is it always, if I don't get what I want, the system must be against me? Y'all sound like black people. Y'all sound like the very black people you hate. Y'all do. You sound like the very black people you hired, people like Candace Owens, Larry Elder. What other useful idiots did you hire? You sound like the very black people y'all are frustrated with. When black people said the system's against us, the system's rigged, we can't make it, we can't be successful in America because the system's against us. I sat there and said blacks had victim mentality. Blacks are lazy, they have victim mentality, they're teaching their kids horrible things, they're demonizing America, and yet when you do it and threaten civil war if you don't get what you want, you're an America-loving patriot. I can't stand the Trump movement. I don't have a problem with white folks, conservative white folks, Christian conservative white folks. I'm not some ultra libtard that hates white America. All I ask is that we all honor the Constitution and acknowledge when someone has prioritized himself above that document, which is Donald John Trump. Why are y'all pretending like if you don't win, the system's rigged against you? Sounds like victim mentality to me. I spent years hearing black conservatives hired by you all preaching about how blacks need to abandon this idea that the system's against them and that all of these things are working against them. But then when you don't get what you want, the system's against you and all of these things are working against you. And if you don't get what you want, the solution is to kill your political opponents. You all are insane. You're all insane. Trump voters, get off this ship of lunacy before it's too late. I'm not one of those liberals that's like, fuck Trump supporters. I only have beef with the Trump politicians and the Trump media pundits. The average everyday man, I've got no beef with. Please get off this train of treachery and treason before it's too late. Please. Sitting there talking about we got bikers for Trump if there's a civil war. Are y'all insane? If you don't win, you're going to kill the other side of the country? Number one, you're not going to win a civil war. Like, you're just not. You're not going to win. You didn't win the last one. That's just not going to happen. Like, it's just not. You're not going to successfully overthrow the United States of America. You are not. You will be defeated the same way you were defeated back during the Civil War. It's the usual suspects causing and egging on this next Civil War. And if it does kick off, you will not win. You will not defeat the laws of the United States. You will not defeat the integrity of our institutions. You will not defeat the United States of America. You tried in the Civil War and you failed, and you will be defeated again. Make no mistake about that. You will be defeated. Because it's not about race. It's not about religion to us. It's not about any of that. It's about our values as Americans, our laws. We are a nation of laws and not men. For you all, it's about race and religion, and not about laws, and not about our institutions, and not about what our founding fathers intended. You know that. You don't stand behind American values. You stand behind what you want and what Trump wants. You're not going to defeat this country. You failed before and you will fail again. I encourage any and all people who are considering voting for Trump to please get off the Trump train and vote for Kamala Harris so we can come back to an era of normalcy, civility, order, honor, and integrity. Please.